Hey, hey. What's going on, everybody? This is how I won and got stopped out in profit in my trade today. Today was, bro, this was pretty choppy price action. I'm starting to see why everyone is not liking this week. Literally, was in this trade for how long? I officially entered 11:21, 10:55, and then I got stopped out 10:58. Bro, I was in this trade for damn near 50 minutes, bro. Um, this was insane. Well, it wasn't really insane. It was really more like crazy accumulation. But with that being said, let's talk about today's price action and my trade for today. And what I originally wanted and how I didn't get that, but we ended up getting a reversal in my favor and was something I wanted to do. So coming into today, let's look at the higher time frame, guys. Let's turn off executions because, as you guys can see, my executions were okay. Executions are already off here. But coming into today, if we look at the higher time frame, in my opinion, this was classic AMD. Well, in my opinion, because we had massive accumulation and we had a manipulation and we had a distribution to the upside. So with that in mind, I was originally longs. I was originally bullish. Why are you saying I was bullish? Mainly, excuse me, mainly because we had manipulation. Well, we had the manipulation to the downside to wipe out previous day lows. So with that in mind, I originally wanted longs. Keyword originally. So with that in my mind, I was like, okay, um, let's see what we got. Let's like if we could make something shake. So I pretty much marked out London session highs. I marked up the beginning of this gap right. Well, I marked out this gap right here. Not on ES, but on Nasdaq. I marked the beginning of this gap, London session highs, the middle of this gap. Well, no, this was the middle. This was relatively equal highs on. This was highs on the 15 minute, but this was relatively equal highs. Yeah, relatively equal highs on the 5 minute, because I knew I marked out relatively equal highs somewhere. And then this was the middle of the gap, and then this was just honestly like potential take profits. But these were like the highs I was targeting because originally I was bullish. These were the highs I was targeting. So with that in mind, coming into market open, we had first 15 minute. Well, first presented 15 minute for value gap. With the first presented 15 minute for value gap, like I always say, not always say, but I've been saying this a lot in my YouTube videos, not YouTube video, my TikTok videos lately. I've been saying the first presented for value gap that you get within pre-market, like right here, this is what I'm talking about, the first presented one. In my opinion, this is the first presented one because this will tell you what the bias is going to be or what draws and liquidity are going to get taken out first. The first presented fair value gap will literally, more than likely not, tell you um what the bias is going to be for the first 30 minutes to an hour of the session, and more times than not it's going to be right. And believe it or not, it was right. I was bullish. What did we do? We closed out of it bullish, and what else did we take? We took out my draws and liquidity that I wanted to get hit. So with that in mind, we scrolled on to the 5 minute. We ended up having a 5 minute. Well, honestly, I kept the 15 minute on ES and then I kept the 5 minute on Nasdaq because I wanted to see. Well, they're correlating pairs, so I wanted to see what we're gonna do. We ended up creating a breaker block on Nasdaq, and then we ended up doing nothing on ES, just really consolidating. Holy bro, this consolidation was disgusting in my opinion. But with that being said, we ended up. Excuse me. Whoa. Oh my god, my train of thought is freaking booming. Okay, ended up creating a breaker block from there. The macro had open, so honestly, there was nothing on the 3 minute. I usually take sometimes I'll take 3 minute inversions based off that and just stay on the 3 minute. So I'm trying to test out. Now I'm back testing since I do use the 3 minute, but we had nothing on the left to invert. Well, to inverse. On the 1 minute, I had originally missed my first entry, which was this gap, because we had originally. Whoa, hold on, my bad. We originally broke structure, right? We already had that breakout. We already had a supporting 5 minute PD array. We tapped into that 5 minute PD array after we had a clean, not really clean displacement, which was why I was kind of hesitant because what I'm starting to look for in my trade is really just clean displacements. Because with the clean, speedy displacement, as ICT said, and what every good trader is saying, with the clean displacement, you're going well. The rest of the price action is going to follow that clean displacement. Obviously, you'll probably have a retrace, but more times than not, price is not going to come back to where it was originally. So with this displacement, it wasn't really clean as much as this one was. Like as you see, we had a clean displacement here, and then what followed, another clean displacement will follow here, another clean displacement. But we ended up having a supporting 5-minute PD array. So my original entry was missed, to be honest, mainly because I just didn't like it. We were already close to London session highs. We already wiped out London session highs. So I was like, no, I'll just let it be. So I ended up putting my, I didn't even take a clip of this. I also would have put it in the video. But I ended up putting my mock trade in just to see if it would have hit. I wouldn't really have gotten upset if it hit, to be honest, because I didn't like it in the first place. It wasn't, we were already way too high above from what I wanted. So with this in mind, I honestly put my stops right here, and then my first take profit was this high, then second right here, then third right here. Would have been like a almost a 4R, and honestly, all of it would have been hit. Well, not 4R because I would have had this, the middle of this gap. I like to target middle and gap because you never know, just in case. But this was like an not unrealistic, but this was a 6R trade. Obviously, most of my positions would have been off by now. Well, would have been off by at least like right here. Would have took off take profit one here because it was already what I think it was what a 2R, and then from there I'll take out one. I'll take out one position like at the top here, and then just let the rest ride. Obviously, I would have got stopped out in profit because starting to trail my stop losses. But I mean, yeah, first trade obviously hit almost all take profits. Not this one. This was just like a moon bag if you want to be real. But with that in mind, whoa, okay, oh my god. But I had to sign up for freaking Tradeful's SMS list. But what was I gonna say? Um, my bad. My brain is just freaking fogging. But we ended up taking a high on Nasdaq. We ended up not taking a high on ES, and in turn created a 15-minute SMT. I was kind of wondering why we were doing this, and then I was like, wait a second, we are creating something beautiful for a reversal. We ended up sweeping out this liquidity, and in turn we ended up creating an SMT. We put in a 15-minute SMT. I was already I was already ready to get down and dirty. I was like, let's work. What did we do? Honestly, I didn't wait for any 5-minute PD array. I knew we were gonna have that reversal. We had a high time from SMT, which was the 15-minute. I was on the 1 minute on ES. I was ready to work, bro. I was ready to work. Just know that I was ready to get nasty. Pause. But no, I was ready to work, bro. Trust. So on the 1 minute, I realized we broke 1 minute structure. I was like, bro, market structure shit, bro. We're ready to work. I was like, just give me any entry. I'm in that. Say no more. Like let's get nasty, baby. Like let's engage in some gay sex. Anyways, um, pause. But anyways, we broke 1 minute structure. Last thing I wanted was this gap to get inversed. I was like, okay, bet if we inverse this gap, I'm in. Like, cause it's pretty clear. We broke 1 minute structure, 15-minute SMT. That 5 minute, it was gonna be a 5 minute SMT as well, and it was pretty much game over at that point. I was like, okay, bet. Uh, I accidentally entered because I thought the speed of displacement was already in that. So my entry was like right around here. Like it was right around here, to be honest. It was bad, so I ended up like getting out as soon as possible. So it honestly was a mistaken entry. I should have kept it, but I just didn't like it, to be honest. So it was a mistaken entry. I lost no money on that. Maybe like $25 in paper money, but it's nothing because I don't really care. Um, I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait for the complete inverse, and I'm in that. What did we get? We got a complete inverse, and then I was in that. So I entered. My entry was literally right here. First take profit was literally these lows right here. We had all these relatively equal lows that we ended up taking out. Oh my god, this was like all failure swings right here. And then my second take profit was market open high. I mean market open lows. Unfortunately, we put in an SMT here, which is why I got stopped out in profit. But last take profit was London session lows. We ended up having data lows because we had unemployment claims at 8:30. They're not really that important as you can see, but they are, equal lows right here. I kind of wanted to target that. Do I think we'll get it? Honestly, probably, unless we already took it on Nasdaq, which is why no, we have three equal lows on Nasdaq. Yeah, we have three equal lows on Nasdaq, relatively equal lows. So I do think we'd probably want to get it sometime. I don't know today. Price action has been pretty choppy, but I do think we should get it. Honestly, in my opinion. But yeah, after take this trade was just disgusting. Mainly because we were just accumulating massively. We ended up putting an SMT at these highs right here. We ended up having a CISD on Nasdaq, and then honestly, for me to have like even more conviction on this, I kind of wanted to put a CISD, and then I also kind of wanted to put an SMT at this high for Nasdaq to take this high, and then from there we would honestly be solid. That would have been a nice SMT right there, and then a crazy displacement, and then boom, that would have been even better as a play if price would have did that, but obviously we didn't, so we have to play with what we're given. Ended up getting a credit straight inverse, took the inverse, ended up having an SMT, so this was already protected. I didn't move my stops to break even after we inversed this gap, this 1 minute huge gap. This was something I really wanted to see before I moved any sort of stops. So my stop loss was honestly here for like a massive amount of time. It was above the gap, it was also on this gap, and it was below the original inversion. So it was protected to say the least. Um, After we inverse this gap and after we inverse the 2 minute gap, I don't even use the 2 minute. Sometimes I do to see what we have for inverses. After that, I was pretty much clean to move my stops to trail it honestly above this inversion, and then from there, after that SMT, I moved my stops to break even because this SMT was supposed to be protected highs. As you can see, it was protected highs. We never came up above it. After we took that, we literally wiped out buy side right here and put in that SMT. We ended up coming into this order block on Nasdaq. I was pretty much just trailing the two to see what we were doing side by side, to see if we were correlating. As in, yes, we were. And I think we put in another SMT right now, high, 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 and then a high. Oh wait, no, wait, no, we didn't put in an SMT. But point is, pretty good trade in my opinion. It took forever. We were consolidating heavily. However, the job did get done. Take profit one was hit. This was like 1.7, 1.74, 1.8 R in profit. Unfortunately, it wasn't the 2 R, but I always make sure my partials are at the minimum 1.5, so I get everything that I risked back and some. So that's chill. It would have been calm. We put in an SMT here, which is why we had that crazy reversal. I was honestly kind of wanting, what you call it, I was kind of wanting price to come and take out pre-market lows. I mean, not no market open lows, and then we could probably put in the SMC. That would have been a 2.4 R practically secured. But hey, man, I don't really care. That this one trade pretty much wiped out all my losses. My past 3 losses. No, I think this is my past 2 losses, which were honestly dumb trades, and this was actually a pretty good trade. Followed all my rules, really looked at everything, and then yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm gonna make a couple TikToks. I'm gonna journal right now. I have so many journals to get done just today, and then my 2 losses previously. But yeah, if you guys text me on Discord, I'm currently banned. I'm not banned, but bro, I tried to text my homie. Well, he texted me. I can't even respond to him until like later on today. So if you guys try to DM me on Discord, I can't respond until like later today. So yeah, Aaron, if you're watching this, bro, hopefully this is the trade recap. But yeah, I can't respond to you twin until like later. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the trade recap. We're back in action, baby. I literally woke up early. I woke up literally 30 minutes before market open. It's not my usual time, but I woke up early, got everything I needed to do done, came in the market open, came in with my bias, came in with my willingness to shake up stuff just in case market wasn't giving me what I wanted to do, and we ended up taking it. So yeah, love you guys. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.